Matt's Bay in Port Ludlow, Washington. My name is Miles McLaughlin. Rolling out a new property here with you, right next to the bay access and the yacht club and a marina. I'm excited to share this property with you. This is a really cool land investment in a really special location. You don't see a lot of stuff like this come for sale within walking distance to the ocean, to the water, right, in the bay. So in this video, I'm going to cover a lot of common questions and FAQs. I'm going to talk about how you can do some of your own due diligence, what I know about the property, the things we've done with the property in our research. I'm going to share with you how you can go visit the property on your own, and some potential uses for the property as well, talking about utilities and things like that. So just kicking the video off with a quick disclaimer. Here's a marina, obviously, but this isn't legal advice. This isn't real estate advice. I'm simply sharing, what I know about the property through my research, my due diligence, and my experience in the industry. You as a buyer are going to be ultimately responsible for conducting your own due diligence. So I'm going to share with you everything I know about the property in this video. I'm going to teach you how you can go access it on your own. The property is obviously overgrown, like all of our properties. What we do is we specialize in selling raw land. We haven't put a gravel pad in. I've got a couple potential, ideas for this property that I'll share with you guys. And the main thing is this is a drone image from the property. Like, you are walking distance to, Matt's Bay. And so we've got a little bit of a write-up here. Like I said, ocean access, recreational paradise. This would be a great spot for boat storage. I think about this property. I think about laying gravel down, putting a pole barn up, storing your sailboat, your yacht, whatever, and maybe a camper. And it's someplace you can stay on the weekends, right? And on top of that, it's a long-term land investment in a sought-after area. So it's right next to the Matt's Bay boat ramp. So let's jump into talking about this a little bit more. We've got the property details here. You can read more about the zoning on the zoning website. We've got linked right here. It's in Jefferson County, Washington. We all know it's a pretty sought after county out here in Washington, but more than anything, I'm excited to show you the location. And all I'm doing is pulling up these GPS coordinates right off our website, and I'm dumping them into Google Maps. We're up here, right here in Matt's, Washington. Here's the boat ramp. Cool. Like the location is so cool up here. I mean, I looked it up, I think on Onyx Maps. This is a quarter acre. This is like a quarter mile walk. Like, this would take you 10 minutes to walk to this site right here. Like, you could be standing on the end of this dock in 10 minutes. And like, that's why I say this would be a really cool spot, I think, to store. Like, I'm thinking like storage container, gravel pad, maybe a camper, a tiny home. So like, on a lot of properties like this, what our customers are doing is they're not going the traditional building route. They're actually clearing us some space. They're creating a space for weekend use, camping, grills, hanging out, creating a parking space for their boat. That's the type of use. We're seeing people get way more creative and using properties alternatively. And obviously you have this long-term real estate asset that you own as well. It's going to appreciate and can be resold over time. So we're talking about the location. Let's get back down to, where this property is located. All I'm doing is copying and pasting these GPS coordinates, and you can see we're right here on Verner Avenue. I'm going to pull the property up here in satellite imagery in a second as well. But I just wanted to go over this area, just touch on it. I think there's a yacht club right up here too. Up here at Burner Point is a yacht club. So, you can see this is a cool area. I mean, you've got access to the ocean all over. You're pretty close to Swim. You're real close to Port Angeles. Like, this is a cool land investment. And there's nothing for sale up here. I've sold one before. That was down in here somewhere. I'm not going to spend my time looking for it right now. But yeah, that one sold really well. And somebody didn't have any plans to build on it. So, let's talk about the property from satellite imagery. You can see here's the marina and stuff. And you can see Burner Point. This is a yacht club, I believe. But it's cool. I mean, Matt's Bay. If you know it, you know it, right? If all the cool people are hanging out at Matt's, I guess. But you can see we've got this kind of weird triangular property. This is actually a road. It's so heavily forested you can't see it. But our photographer got some really great photos of this road coming back here, going past the property. So it's really private back here. Like I said, it'd be a great spot for a pole barn. You can see the property opening. There's almost like a game trail, it looks like, going through the property. And if I come back out here, this is actually an alleyway, it looks like. So maybe that's what we're seeing is like an alleyway. This is an alleyway behind the property. This is that main road on Werner. There's no street views, so we can't look at that. It looks fairly small, but like here's a house and here's a house. And like, I just want to show you like how much space you actually have. Like, let's just say you're in the middle of the property, basically using the middle of the property. Like this is a lot of square footage. This is 6,000 square feet and I'm just in the middle of the property, like that's a ton of space to be parking vehicles and stuff. Like if you put it in perspective, that's a vehicle. It's just a little blimp on the map. So you've got a ton of space for boat parking, maybe a camper, like I said, storage container, things like that. And the reason I'm pushing, some of that alternative use like that is because we did actually get a septic test done, a preliminary feasibility on this property. So there's power in the area. It's going to be no problem connecting to power. But we did get negative feedback on septic feasibility tests. And I want to pull that up for you and just disclose that. We had an excavating company go out there. I'm not an expert on development. I want to start by saying that. Are there systems, septic systems, or ways to dispose of your waste that the county or the state may approve? I do not know that answer. That answer could very well be yes. There are alternatives that a person can do when you fail a septic test. There's different types of systems. There's new technology coming out. Hey, city sewer is going to be run to Werner Street 10 years down the road. So not only do you have tangible use today, right? Storage, camping, a dry cabin. Maybe you want to build in this property, but you don't need sewer. You're going to put an outhouse, or you're going to, dispose of your waste in a different way. There's different ways you can use this property, and we've sold plenty of land like this, and it's priced with this in mind. So if you want a great buildable property, you're spending six figures. If you want something that's used more for recreation, for storage, for long-term investment, for unique alternative ideas, this is a great opportunity at a really great price to get your foot in the door at this location. Okay. And so just wanted to run the septic feasibility by you. It talks about it here. It's not the greatest property for septic feasibility test. If it would have passed this test, it's worth, 3 to 4 times as much, right? It sucks to say that one test, hurts the value of the property that much, but at the end of the day, it still has a ton of value. And we think it's a pretty badass land investment with all things considered. This isn't the first property we've sold that's failed the septic test. There's a lot of happy customers we've had that have bought properties like this that have found ways to use them. Because guess what? The guy who wants to park his boat, to him and his buddies want to hang out on the weekends, or they want to do some sort of dry cabin or a storage container to, like I said, park kayaks and walk to the beach and stuff. Like, that person doesn't want to spend 120 grand on a buildable property. That person wants to spend money on a property that they can leave their kayaks at. They can leave paddleboards at. They can leave a sailboat at. They can car camp on the weekends. That's a buyer. That's a target audience, or maybe somebody just wants a long-term land investment as well. So jumping into the last section of this video that I want to talk about, for those of you who want to visit the property, all I'm doing is pulling the GPS coordinates off of our website, just like this. This is my favorite app for land viewings. It's called Onyx Hunt. All you're doing is plugging in the coordinates here. I'm going to zoom in and look at the property. You can see it here. You can see these lines when you're out on the property looking at it. I have the layer for Washington State going. So this is what it looks like. And you can see the road going right through it. And I can actually measure out the distance to water access, the boat launch. So, 602 total yards. That's 6 football fields. That is nothing. Like I said, you can walk out the front of your property and you're at the Matt's Bay boat launch. So again, the main selling points of this property, we know it failed the septic test. I know that. You can still, there's holding tanks for water. There's power you can run to the property. Park your camper there on the weekends. Stay for a week or two during the summer. Park your sailboat up there. Put a storage container. Lock up paddle boards, kayaks, things like that. This is your opportunity to own real estate up in Matt's. Walking distance to Matt's Bay. Like I said, there's a marina up here as well. All that good stuff. And, you have tangible use today, but there's going to be ways, over time, the area might install sewage lines. At that point, you have a buildable property worth 6 figures, worth 2 to 3, 4, 5 times as much as what you paid, right? Maybe there's new technology that comes out that allows for septic system or new rules that allow you to build on it. Maybe there's exceptions that the state will make. Those are things I haven't gone through, right? Those are speculative reasons you would invest in land. This is a good idea of what's going on in the area, but you know, a lot of it checks out. There's still a lot of use to be had. Camping is allowed. You got to obviously check with the county for any guidelines around that, but you can camp in the property. You can RV on the property, things like that. So, like I said, the location is a selling point. Alternative uses is what you're looking to buy for this. And so again, get with us if you have questions. I'm happy to help you out. I have a lot of other land investments in Washington too, Idaho, Oregon. So take a peek at the homepage if you're still in the market. I've got some property in the Cowlitz River out there in Lewis County, Washington. I've got a 40-acre out there in central Washington around Yakima. I've got a property in Republic. So the list goes on. 20 acres up in Oroville. So if you are in the market, a 6-acre in Copalis Beach, just give us a call. Let's have a conversation. You can reach us here at 605-299-5553. Thanks for tuning in.